And I am going to share my screen. All right, okay. I've shared my screen. So let's just complete one last example from the second chapter. And then we are going to talk about the third chapter, okay? So this is basically the entire syllabus. We are done with numbers. We are almost done with set, language, and notation. Today we will be talking about squares, square roots, cubes, and cube roots, okay? But let's just do one last example from the second question. Okay, so yesterday we were done with the first two parts of this question. We had to complete the Venn diagram. So A had all the prime numbers. Let's take the prime numbers again between 1 and 18. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Okay. So 2, 3 were written, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. Okay. Other than A and B, we need to look for the other missing elements that are there in the entire universal set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is missing. Then we have 9, then 10 is missing. We have 11, 12, 13, 14 is missing. 15 is missing. 16 is missing. 17, 18, and they are there. Okay. All right. So this is basically an idea about the question. Then the second part was complete the description of the set B. So set B has factors of what number? I told you the method. You need to look for the highest number, double that, and these are going to be the factors of that number, right? So it was 36. Okay. We discussed all of this yesterday. Now the third part of the question is find the number of elements in A union B. Okay, so A union B is basically entire A and then entire B. And now we need to talk about the number of elements. Let's just count down all the elements we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 elements here. N bracket set means number of elements in this set, in the set of A union B. So we have 13 elements, okay? Any queries? Are we good with this one?
Ma'am, why did we choose 18 in the second part?
Yes, good.
Okay, all right, I'll tell you. 18 is basically there, was there already. Like, I think your question is why is it encircled? Because I wanted to talk about the, what do you say, about the factors of 36, right? We wanted to talk about this part, basically, that is why I encircled it. But 18 was there already. Like, I did not write it by myself. It was given in the question initially, right? This is how my Venn diagram was, and then I added the numbers written in blue. Okay, 18 was already there. Is it okay now?
All right.
Acha, this is 7, and then we had all the prime numbers. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. Acha. The fourth part is interesting. List the elements of A complement intersection B. Acha. Okay. एक method तो आप लोगों को पता है. You can easily find out this region by numbering the set, and you can do it that way, but you can also think about it directly. What is A complement? Now I am going to shade A complement. A complement is everything except A, right? So I'm not shading A complement. I am just shading A. Everything except this yellow part is basically going to be A complement. A complement has everything except A. So the white part you see inside this, which includes, let me use a color for this then. This part, all of this part is basically A complement, right? This entire rectangle except the yellow shaded part is your A complement basically. Okay. All right, but I think white is a good option. Let's keep it white. Acha, we are good with A complement. A complement is the white shaded part, and then we want B. So A complement intersection B. A complement is the entire white shaded part, and then its intersection with B means कि हमारे पास common region कौन सा आ रहा है? This is basically the common region. One second, why is it shading it this way? Acha, let me use some different color then. There's some issue with the shading. Anyways, it is going to be this part basically. This is going to be A complement intersection B, right? So these are the elements in A complement intersection B, okay? अच्छा, एक ये तरीका है उसको करने का, ठीक है? कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को ये मुश्किल भी लगता है, अगर इस तरह हम कंफर्टेबल नहीं है, fair enough. Let's stick to one method then. What is one method? I need to name or number different regions on this set, ठीक है? तो I'll just name them because numbers are already used. I can say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, ठीक है? अच्छा, A complement में मेरे पास कौन कौन से alphabets आएंगे फिर? A complement would have everything except A. तो A के अंदर I have B and C. तो A complement के अंदर I would have A and D. Then what elements do I have in the set B? B के अंदर कौन से elements हैं? I'm talking about the alphabets. Numbers में अगर आप लोग करेंगे, it would become very complicated. We need to keep it simple. So let's talk about the alphabets, ठीक है? Which we have used to name the different parts of the universal set. ठीक है? हमारे पास C और D है. And now the question is about A complement intersection B. Intersection means common. D is the common region. इसका मतलब है कि now I need to shade this part only. ठीक है? So this is going to be the region that is basically coming from this part. अच्छा, question was about listing the elements. तो कौन कौन से elements हैं हमारे पास? 1, 4, 6, 9, 12 and 18. ठीक है? When it would be about listing, तो मैंने सबको list करना है. It is 1, 4, 6, 9, 12 and 18. So this is going to be the answer. Definitely, Kabir. I'll just go there in some time. For now, let's just talk about the fourth part. Okay, then after this part, I will talk. I'll just go and let you take the screenshot. Okay, so this is basically the last question from the second chapter, and we are discussing Venn diagrams here. We were basically asked to list the elements in A complement intersection B. Elements आप आराम से list कर सकते हैं, but the issue is you need to know the exact region this is talking about. Okay, for this I've told you, you can either number different parts of the universal set or you can name it. I have named it because numbers were already used. I've named it as A, B, C, D. A complement would have everything except A. ठीक है? तो A के अंदर we had B and C, except A means A and D. B के अंदर we have C and D. A complement intersection B means कि हमारे पास सिर्फ D होगा, तो I would be shading the region representing D only. And D region के अंदर I have 1, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18. ठीक है? That is why this is the answer. Please tell me if it is okay or not. Yes, students. Are we good with the fourth part of this question? Please confirm.
Yes, ma'am, I'm good.
Okay.
मैम A complement के अंदर C क्यों नहीं आएगा?
A complement के अंदर C इसलिए नहीं आएगा because A complement is everything except A. ठीक है? A का जो सर्कल है, ये A का सर्कल है. ठीक है? A के सर्कल के अंदर जो जो आ रहा है वो A के अंदर है. B और C दोनों A के अंदर है. तो I need everything except A. ठीक है, ये जो B और C है ये दोनों A के अंदर है और C और D ये दोनों B के अंदर है। C बेसिकली A के अंदर भी है और B के अंदर भी है। तो जब मैं A कॉम्प्लीमेंट की बात करूंगी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई नीड टू सी व्हाट एलिमेंट्स एग्जैक्टली आई हैव इनसाइड A, and then I will be talking about all the other elements except those in A. ठीक है, that is why I did not include C because C is in A. I need everything other than A, right?
Alright.
Okay, great. Acha. All right. So here is the syllabus. You can take the screenshot. Kabir wanted to take the screenshot. I'll share the PDF as well on the group. We have 42 chapters in total. You can just take the screenshot and let me know.
Okay, ma'am, I've taken it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Great. Acha. Okay. So this was basically the chapter of sets. ठीक है, इसका next part is about LCM. Let's do this one as well because we are done with the first chapter. ठीक है, अभी हम सिर्फ B करेंगे, C part नहीं करेंगे because we have not covered that. अच्छा, okay. Now it says find the lowest common multiple, that is the LCM. ठीक है, हम LCM कैसे find करते हैं हमें बताएं। दो numbers हैं 140 and 770. अब I got a message from a student saying के can we state all the multiples and then talk about the lowest common multiple? Sure you can, but look, this would not be easy for this one. ठीक है, specifically if you would be asked in the non-calculator exam, तो it would be very difficult. और इस type के questions usually non-calculator exam में ही आते हैं। ठीक है, तो इस question के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, हमने यहाँ पे ये method use करना है 140 and then 770. ठीक है, so सबसे पहला number 2 है, I would get 70 here. Please help me with this. What is 770 divided by 2? I want all of you to participate at this point. It is 385. Now I cannot use 2. I cannot use 3. ठीक है, because 2 इस पे divide नहीं होता and 70 के लिए 3 would not work. The next number is going to be 5. So 70 divided by 5 is 14. And 385 divided by 5, you can take your time and then do this. It would give you 77. Very good. Next number कौन सा होगा? 2 भी नहीं हो सकता, 3 भी नहीं है, 5 भी नहीं है, 7. Excellent. ठीक है, very good. 2 आ गया and then हमारे पास 11 आ गया. अच्छा, अब LCM है. अब कुछ स्टूडेंट्स इस तरह करते हैं, यहाँ पे 2 ले लें, यहाँ पे 1 ले लें, यहाँ पे 11 ले लें, जरूरत ही नहीं है। ठीक है, ओनली कबीर वाज देयर इन द फर्स्ट क्लास, तो उसको मैंने बताया था, दोज हैव जॉइंड लेटर, यू नीड टू डू दिस मच ओनली इन केस ऑफ LCM एंड HCF। ठीक है, सिर्फ इतना ही करना है। LCM में भी और HCF में भी डिफरेंस क्या है, LCM में L बनाना है, ऐसे नीचे आना है एंड ऐसे करना है। ठीक है, तो आपने इन सब नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई करना है। आपने मल्टीप्लाई करना है 2 को with 5, with 7, with 2, and then 11. 2 into 5 would give you 10. 10 into 7 would give you 70 multiplied by 22. Just find the answer. Without using the calculator, please. ये आपने calculator के बगैर ही करना है. And this is going to give you 1540. ठीक है? अच्छा, I'll explain it again. Please pay attention. LCM and HCF निकालने के हमारे पास multiple तरीके होते हैं. We will be talking about more past paper questions today as well. But एक तरीका ये होता है, if the question is about LCM और HCF, आपने इस तरीके से, ये जो मैंने पूरी डायग्राम बनाई है, नंबर्स कॉमन लेके करनी होती है। ठीक है, उसके बाद अगर HCF होता है तो हम सिर्फ इन नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, लेकिन जब LCM होता है तो हमने इन सारे नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई करना होता है। ठीक है, जस्ट रिमेंबर इट यूजिंग दिस L, या आपने पूरा 2 into 5 into 7 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 2 into 11 करना होता है, एंड दिस वुड गिव यू 1540. So this is going to be the answer. ठीक है, any questions, any difficulties, ask me right now. Please tell me if it is okay or not.
Okay.
All right, and Urva and Kabir.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am, it's okay.
Acha, okay, perfect. ठीक है. So I'll stop sharing this. I am going to share my whiteboard. ठीक है, the next chapter, the third chapter is square, square roots, cube, cube roots. It's very, very easy. It would just take, I suppose 10 minutes at max, not more than that. ठीक है, तो square एंड स्क्वायर रूट्स की बात करते हैं हम सबसे पहले तो square and square roots. This is the third chapter of the O-level math syllabus. Okay, this is your third chapter. अच्छा, okay. सबसे पहले what exactly is square? पहले let's talk about square. Square is very simple. 2 square means this. 4 square means this. 3 square means this. 5 square means this. Square of a number is just this कि मैंने वो number लिखा और मैंने उसकी power में 2 लिखा, ठीक है? How do we understand this? I can think about it this way: 2 multiplied by 2, then 4 multiplied by 4, then 3 multiplied by 3, and then 5 multiplied by 5. Square of any number is basically multiplying that number with itself. 2 square is 2 into 2, 4 square is 4 into 4, 3 square is 3 into 3, 5 square is 5 into 5. So 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 4 is 16, 3 into 3 is 9, 5 into 5 is 25. ठीक है? Now we know square of a number is just multiplying that number itself, and this is how we denote it. हम उस number के ऊपर we just write down a small 2 and it means you need to multiply that number with itself. This is all about squares. ठीक है? इसको हम squares कहते हैं. अच्छा. What does square root means? Square root of a number, let's say कोई भी number हो, for example 100. Square root of 100 is something of this type. इसको हम ऐसे लिखते हैं. Square root of 25 is something of this type. अब आप हर नंबर का स्क्वायर रूट फाइंड नहीं कर सकते, आप सिर्फ कुछ स्पेसिफिक नंबर्स का स्क्वायर रूट फाइंड कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? लेट मी राइट इट डाउन मोर नीटली. स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 1 फाइंड हो सकता है, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 4 फाइंड हो सकता है, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 9 फाइंड हो सकता है, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 16 फाइंड कर सकते हैं आप लोग, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 25 फाइंड कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? सबसे पहले तो हमें ये समझ में आ गई कि स्क्वायर का मतलब ये 2 है और स्क्वायर रूट का मतलब ये वाला साइन है जो मैंने ऊपर हर नंबर के लगाया. दिस इज द नोटेशन, ठीक है? स्क्वायर में क्या करना होता है, आपने सिंपल नंबर को अपने आप से मल्टीप्लाई कर देना होता है. अच्छा, अभी मैं बात करती हूँ कि स्क्वायर रूट कैसे फाइंड करना होता है. इन सब नंबर्स को हम परफेक्ट स्क्वायर्स कहते हैं, ठीक है? These numbers are basically perfect squares. ये सब नंबर्स जो मैंने यहाँ पे लिखे हैं स्क्वायर लेने के बाद, इनको हम परफेक्ट स्क्वायर्स कहते हैं. और यहाँ पे I can only take square root of perfect squares. मैं स्क्वायर रूट सिर्फ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर नंबर्स का ले सकती हूँ. 1 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 16 is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square. How do I define a perfect square? If 16 is a perfect square, it means I have a number such that when I will multiply it with itself, मुझे 16 मिलेगा. वो number 4 था. 9 is a perfect square. I have a number when I will square it, I would get 9. तो 3 को जब मैंने square किया मुझे 9 मिल गया. For 25, I have a number that is 5. I will square it and it would give me 25. अच्छा, ठीक है. How do we find square roots? Let's talk about that now. ठीक है? Okay. Let's talk about 9 first. सबसे पहले मैंने यहाँ पे 9 लिखा और मैंने यहाँ पे 9 की प्राइम फैक्टराइजेशन करनी है. So it would be 3, it would be 3, it would be 3, and then 1. So this means that 9 is equal to 3 multiplied by 3, and I can write it as 3 squared. This means ke I can write it down as 3 squared. So square and square root can be cancelled and the answer is going to be 3. So the square root of 9 is 3. How are we finding the square root? सबसे पहले आपने उस number की prime factorization करनी है. Once you have the prime factors, you need to write them down this way, and then हमने स्क्वायर को और स्क्वायर रूट को कैंसिल करना है, ठीक है? ये बहुत बेसिक एग्जांपल्स है फॉर नाउ, और कॉम्प्लिकेटेड एग्जांपल्स की हम बात करते हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट 4. सॉरी, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट 16. ठीक है, मैंने 2 लिखा, दिस वुड गिव मी 8. Again, I am going to write down 2. This would give me 4. Again 2. This would give me 2. Again 2, 1 and 1. This means I can write down 16 as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Now I need to write it down this way कि मेरे पास squares आ जाए, ठीक है, मेरे पास 2 squared आ जाए and then again मेरे पास 2 squared आ जाए. So I can write it down as 2 squared multiplied by 2 squared, and this can be written as under the root 2 multiplied by 2 whole square. So this and this would be cancelled and the answer is going to be 4. ठीक है. अच्छा, अभी तक लेट्स से किसी को कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आई, ठीक है, किसी को कुछ भी समझ में नहीं. आर वी क्लियर विद दिस पार्ट? ये पार्ट समझ में आया है? This is how we write down a square. हम ऊपर 2 लिखते हैं and 2 लिखने का मतलब क्या है? You need to multiply that number with itself and हमें multiplication आती है, ठीक है. We know कि हमारे पास आंसर कैसे आएगा. Are we clear with the left side of the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, great. We are clear with the left side of the screen. ठीक है, तो I am going to erase it. And now we know कि perfect squares क्या होते हैं? Perfect squares are basically numbers which I am getting after squaring simple numbers, right? Like 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. अच्छा, अभी पूरी screen clear कर रही हूँ. अब let's talk about a complicated question ताकि कुछ चीजें समझ में आना शुरू हो. Okay, let's say मैंने find करना है square root of 64. Question is, we will be talking about past paper questions, then you will see कि ये questions आते हैं. This is the question. ठीक है, आपको non calculator exam में question आ गया, you need to find out the square root of 64. Those who have just joined, please pay attention. ठीक है, I'm going to write down this number over here and I am going to prime factorize this number. ठीक है, I'll be starting off with 2. It would give me 32, again 2, I would get 16, again 2, I would get 8, again 2, this would give me 4, ठीक है, again 2, this would give me 2, 2 and 1. Now I'm done. I can write down 64 as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, 2, 2, 2, then multiply it by 2, multiply it by 2, and then one more 2. Okay, so we have these many 2's in total. Acha, I have written all the 2's. Uske baad, I need to make pairs. Why do I need to make pairs? Because I need to write down these numbers as squares. 2 multiplied by 2 can be written as 2 squared. 2 multiplied by 2 can be written as 2 squared. 2 multiplied by 2 can be written as 2 squared. Okay, this is being multiplied. And finally, I can write it as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, and I can write these 3 powers as 1 power. So 64 is equal to this. Okay, fair enough. 64 is equal to this. Then the under root of 64 can be written as under root of 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 whole square. This and this can be cancelled and 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 would give you 8. Okay, so you can check on your calculators. 64 is under root 64 or square root of 64 is going to be 8, right? This is the concept about squares and square roots. Okay, all right. Let's talk about one more example in order to make it clear. Okay. Let's say the question is about finding out the square root of 10,000. ठीक है, 10,000 का आ गया and जिस भी number का square root आएगा that would be a perfect square at your level. It would be a perfect square. ठीक है, अच्छा मैंने यहाँ पे number लिख दिया जो बड़ा सा number आ गया है. I need to prime factorize. सबसे पहले मैं 2 से शुरू करूंगी तो मेरे पास क्या आएगा? 10,000 divided by 2 would be 5,000. 5,000 divided by 2 would be 2,500. 2,500 divided by 2 would be 1,250. 1,250 divided by 2 would be, yes, 625. अच्छा, 625 के बाद can I go with 2, 3? कौन सा number use करूंगी मैं अब? Can anyone tell me? Yes, What number should I use for this one?
5.
Ma'am, what about 5?
Yes, we can use 5. Very good. Excellent. And we cannot use 3. Okay, this is what I wanted to ask. So we are going to use 5 here. 625 divided by 5 is what? 125. Again, I am going to use 5. 125 divided by 5 is 25. Once again 5. That would give me 5 and 5 or per 1 1 aa jayega. Okay, I'm sorry about the writing, but now I know that 10,000 can be written as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. तो मेरे पास 4 2s थे and then 1 2 3 4 4 5s थे. ठीक है, I need to write it down as pairs. तो ये पेयर बन गया, ये पेयर बन गया, ये पेयर बन गया, ये पेयर बन गया. I can write it as 2 squared, 2 squared, 5 squared and 5 squared, and I can write it as 2 into 2 into 5 into 5 and एक ही बार में ऊपर squared लिख दूंगी, and this is going to give me under root 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. So this square and this square root would be cancelled, and what is going to be the answer? 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, and 20 multiplied by 5 is 100. So the square root of 10,000 is 100. So this is how we do it without calculator. Okay? Acha. Similarly, now this was basically about finding square roots. Ab cubes or cube roots mein kya hota hai? Let's quickly discuss this. Next part is cubes, and then we have cube roots. Okay. So for example, if I need cube of 1, I'll do 1 cube, that is 1. Then 2 cubed, it is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, that is 8. Then I'll do 3 cubed, it would give me 27. Then 4 cubed, it would give me 64, and so on. Okay? This is how we find cubes. Cube of a number is just multiplying the number 3 times with itself. 3 cubed is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Okay? Cube is simple. Cube root, आप सिर्फ perfect cubes के find कर सकते. For example, let's say you've been asked to find out the cube root of 64. ठीक है? क्यूब रूट में यहाँ पे एक 3 होता है. स्क्वायर रूट और क्यूब रूट में डिफरेंस होता है. स्क्वायर रूट में कोई नंबर नहीं होता, क्यूब रूट में आपके पास एक 3 लिखा होगा. अगेन स्टेप्स आर सिमिलर. मैंने अब क्या करना है, आई नीड टू प्राइम फैक्टराइज 64, 2, 32, again 2, 16, again 2, 8, again 2, 4, and then I would have फिर से 2, 2, 2 and 1. ठीक है, तो मेरे पास क्या आ गया? Now I know that 64 is basically equal to 2 multiplied by 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 2. This time around the question is about cube roots. So I need to make a group of 3 numbers. I can write it as 2 cubed, I can write it as 2 cubed, and I would get 2 multiplied by 2 whole cubed. So cube root of 64 is equal to the cube root of 2 multiplied by 2 whole cube. Now this 3 and these 2 can be cancelled, and I would get 4. It means that the cube root of 64 is 4. Yes. Are we good with the idea of square roots and cube roots? Students, please confirm if you have understood this topic.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay, then that's perfect. I'll stop sharing this, and now I am going to share the questions we will be doing. All right, so these are basically some questions. Okay. This is a worksheet, and then we have some past paper questions here. Yeah, this is just a worksheet. Okay. इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट, ठीक है। अच्छा, इस पर हम कुछ क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, सारे नहीं करते। अच्छा, इट सेज व्हिच ऑफ देम इज अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, ठीक है। परफेक्ट स्क्वायर कौन सा नंबर होता है? परफेक्ट स्क्वायर इज बेसिकली अ नंबर, is that number which would basically be coming जब मैं दो numbers को multiply करूं. The best way of finding or figuring this out is, obviously ये complicated है because we need to test out 4 things or let's say 3 things, but let's start off with the first one, ठीक है. Let's try doing it this way. Okay, अच्छा जी, मैंने चेक करना है कि इनमें से परफेक्ट स्क्वायर कौन सा है. उसके लिए आई नीड टू प्राइम फैक्टराइज एंड देन आई नीड टू सी कि क्या मेरे पास कोई नंबर. यस यस ताहा. अच्छा, इट्स 2, ठीक है. देन 576 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 would give you 288. Again 2, it would give you 144. Again 2, then I would get 72. फिर से 2 में डिवाइड करूंगी, then what is 72 divided by 2? It is 36. फिर से 2 आ जाएगा and we are going to get 18. फिर से 2 आ जाएगा, then we would get 9, 3, 3 and 3. ठीक है, ये बेसिकली मेरे पास प्राइम फैक्टर्स आ रहे हैं, ठीक है. तो मेरे पास यहाँ पे एक पेयर बन गया, दूसरा पेयर बन गया, तीसरा पेयर बन गया और चौथा पेयर बन गया. सिंस आई हैव ऑल द पेयर्स, इट मींस के आई वुड बी हैविंग अ नंबर जिसको मैं उसी से मल्टीप्लाई करूं तो इट वुड गिव मी 576, ठीक है. सो द आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी ए. 576 इज अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर. व्हाट इज द मेथड? क्या तरीका मैंने बताया? It's very simple. You're just supposed to do the prime factorization, and prime factorization के बाद if you are able to make pairs, because the question is about perfect square, ठीक है, तो it would mean कि आपके पास वो number एक perfect square है. Yes students, is it okay or not?
Sure, ma'am, it's okay.
All right, okay, acha. Let's leave this worksheet. Let's talk about the past paper questions. It is not that important. It is just for your practice, but it is taking too much time. And in the non-calculator exam, इतने complicated questions नहीं होते, ठीक है. तो it's good that we talk about the past papers. अच्छा, अब ये एक past paper है. इसके first part के बारे में हमें नहीं पता. It says write the number 3456.789 correct to the nearest 100. When we will talk about rounding off and everything, ये बातें तब होंगी. हमारे से जो related part है, that is part B. Part B says, and this is a non-calculator exam, ठीक है. Part B says, इस type of question आएगा आपके exam में कि you need to find the under root of this big number, ठीक है. आपने इस बड़े से number का under root find करना है. Let's try doing it. सबसे पहले I am going to do the prime factorization. अब ये लग मुश्किल रहा है, इतना मुश्किल है नहीं. यहाँ पे मैं 2 लिखूंगी, 16 का half is 8 and then I would have 4 zeros, ठीक है. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Again 2, then I would have 4 with 4 zeros. Again 2, I would have 2 with 4 zeros. फिर से 2 and then 1 with 4 zeros, ठीक है. अच्छा, उसके बाद फिर से I'll write down 2, बाकी वाला part I'm doing it here, ठीक है. मेरे पास क्या आ जाएगा? 10,000 divided by 2 is 5,000, 2,500, 1,250. Then what is 1,250 divided by 2? 625, ठीक है. Then it was 5, हमने पहले भी किया था. This would give you 125. Again 5, it would give you 25, 5, 5 and 5, ठीक है. This is how we are going to do it. अच्छा, okay, so the question was about finding the under root, ठीक है. अब let's make the pairs quickly. ये मेरे पास एक पेयर बन रहा है, ये मेरे पास एक पेयर बन रहा है, then ये मेरे पास एक पेयर बन रहा है, ये एक पेयर बन रहा है, ये एक पेयर बन रहा है and ये एक पेयर बन रहा है, ठीक है. Let me write down all these numbers. 2 squared multiplied by 2 squared multiplied by 2 squared. then multiplied by 2 squared, multiplied by 5 squared, and multiplied by 5 squared. Under root की वजह से सारे numbers cancel हो जाएंगे, and we are going to get 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, that is 8, multiplied by 10 multiplied by 5. So it is 80 into 5, and it would give you 400. So 400 is going to be the answer. ठीक है? अब obviously this was a long approach to this question. हमारे पास एक short approach भी है. Let's talk about that quickly, and then that is it. This is the last thing for today. ये एक full-fledged long method है of doing it. ठीक है कि आपने पूरी prime factorization की और आपने full अपना time waste किया और आपने फिर किया. एक और तरीका ये है कि मुझे पता है कि इसको मैं लिख सकती हूँ as 16 multiplied by 10,000. ठीक है? I know that इसको मैं ऐसे लिख सकती हूँ under root 16 multiplied by under root 10,000. 16 का under root is 4 and 10,000 का under root is what? 100 multiplied by 100 would give you a number with 4 zeros. So it is going to be 100 and 400 is going to be the answer. Okay? It is completely your choice. Obviously, in the beginning, I would talk about the actual method and then we'll talk about the shortcut methods. Okay? This was just a 1 mark question. So iske liye ye method is better because obviously you need to save time. कोई भी number बड़ा सा आ गया, you can divide it into 2 parts. ठीक है? आपको with time समझ में आ जाएगी कौन सा नंबर perfect square है. नहीं, 16 का सबको पता है, 100 का सबको पता है. अगर 100 का सबको पता है तो फिर 10,000 का भी आपको पता हो चाहिए कि 100 into 100 would give you 10,000. ठीक है? All right. So now when you will multiply 16 with 10,000, it would give you 160,000. 16 ka under root is 4 and then 10,000 under root is 100. Okay, so 4 into 100 would give you 400. Okay. Now please tell me if you are okay with this or not. All the students. Kabir, Rahil, Ayaz.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, so I hope this is good. Then I will stop sharing the screen. I'll stop the recording.